Welcome. Hi, everybody. For those of you who haven't met me yet, I'm Amanda Parr, and this is the information session for my Back to Your Roots retreat on the Caribbean island of Nevis. And the next one is happening October 24th through the 31st. And so this information session is just going to walk you through what the experience is really like and who this retreat is designed for, and how everything works logistically if you should decide that this feels aligned for you. You're also going to hear from some past participants, which I think is going to be the most valuable part of the session, because you get to see the retreat through the eyes of the people who've actually lived it. And then also towards the end of the session, I have a special bonus offer for anyone who feels called to join this next retreat coming up in October. So I just want to give that little disclaimer. So those of you who don't know, I live on a small Caribbean island. And for all of the awesome things that I get with living on a small remote Caribbean island, there's always trade-offs. And one of the trade-offs is that we don't always have a good internet connection. And I have been, I haven't had a good relationship with my technology today, with my internet connection. And so just so you know, if I kind of seem a bit laggy, or if I freeze momentarily, or if you lose me momentarily, then just stick with me. It usually resolves itself pretty quickly. And from your side, you can keep your microphones muted for now. And you can feel free to interact in the comment section. So you guys know how to use the comment section. Somebody already said hi. I'm going to say hi in here as well, so you guys can see how that works. You guys can use that anytime you want during the session. And speaking of the chat, it's really nice to have a little bit of interaction, just so I know who's here. I don't feel like I'm speaking into the void. So Joni from Indiana. Hey, I'm from Indiana too. What's up? Charlotte, North Carolina. That's Martha. And Maggie from New Mexico is here. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Rachini from Florida. Awesome. Thanks for joining. It's really nice to connect with you. And thanks for doing that. So yeah, feel free to chat throughout the session. And if you have any questions, I am going to leave some space at the end of the session for Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can leave it for then, or you can just type it into the chat. And then during the Q&A, I'll scroll through there and see if there's anything to answer. Okay, so before I get into telling you about the Nevis Back to Your Roots retreat, I want to start by getting to know a little bit about you. So I have a little questionnaire type thing with some statements that I'm going to read off. Colorado. And I want to see if any of these statements resonate with you. So as I read these statements, you can answer yes or no based on whether you feel like I'm describing you. And you can type your answer in the chat, or you can simply reflect on it yourself. Of course, I really love to see your answers in the chat. Okay, so let me know if any of these statements feel like you. Okay, and you can mute microphones as well. Yeah, so we don't have any ambient noise. Okay, number one, I am a refined old soul who is drawn to depth and meaningful experiences. Does that sound like you? Yes or no? Number two, the world I live in feels fast moving, and I often feel mentally overloaded and bogged down by the demands and the routines of my life. Number three, I am a lover of nature and drawn to a free-spirited, slightly hippie-esque way of living. I see hands going up. Number 4, I am eager to experience new places and cultures, and I am not afraid of the unfamiliar. Yet the logistics of planning an international trip or the idea of traveling alone feels daunting. For sure. Yeah. When it comes to travel, I prefer a down to earth, off the beaten path kind of experience rather than a sheltered, sterilized, cookie cutter resort experience. Is that you? That's definitely me. Okay. Number 6, I love to share meaningful moments with like minded people while still having space for peaceful solitude when I need it. Number 7, I have a decent level of mobility and fitness, yet I carry some aches and pains and some minor imbalances, and sometimes I just don't feel good in my body. Number 8, my nervous system often feels revved up. I have a hard time quieting the whirlpool of my mind, and this can cause me to feel anxious or to withdraw from the world. Number 9, I know that feeling better is possible, but I often lack the right motivation and guidance to get me there on my own. Number 10, I am a spiritually curious soul seeker, and I know that there is much more to existence than what meets the eye. Number 11, not everyone in my circle has the same curiosity and depth of thought, and that sometimes makes me feel isolated and unseen. Yep, I understand. Number 12, I have learned and grown through some difficult times over the years, and now I feel that I'm on the cusp of a new chapter in my life. Number 13, I am intelligent and independent, but I also recognize my need to be supported, guided, and occasionally held in a space that facilitates reconnection with my higher self. That was the last one. So, how did you guys do? Were there a lot of yeses on those statements? If there was a lot of yeses there, then I just want to say that you are absolutely in the right place. You are one of my people. I'm so happy to connect with you. It feels really good to connect with like-minded people. So welcome. And some of you already know me, but some of you are meeting me for the first time. So I want to take a few minutes just to tell you a little bit about myself and how I ended up on the Caribbean island of Nevis and why I do what I do. So I am originally a farm girl from rural Indiana. From a young age, I was adventurous and spiritually curious. I was also a little bit of a comedian, but I also struggled a lot internally. I dealt with anxiety and panic attacks, depression, attention issues, and a lot of physical symptoms that I now understand were connected to something more complicated and esoteric than what could easily be defined and diagnosed. As soon as I was old enough, I left home and I moved to New York City. I couldn't wait to be free to explore the world outside of what was familiar to me. And New York was probably the most opposite place that I could imagine at that time in my life. And I also had a very particular dream growing up, which was to work for my childhood hero, David Letterman. And I did end up doing that. And while I was living in New York City as a youngster, so late teens, early 20s, I was exposed to yoga and meditation and Eastern philosophy for the first time. And this was a huge catalyst in my life. Not only did it give some direction and some definition to this inner exploration that I was really attracted to, but it also gave me the tools to address the physical and the psychological issues that I had been struggling with. And of course, it didn't make all of my problems disappear. It still hasn't. But it gave me the tools to deal with this kind of internal chaos that I had been experiencing. And so then over the following years, I became a very earnest student of yoga and the healing arts, and also a teacher of yoga. And guided by these studies, and as well as my own experiences, I gradually have developed my own way of teaching people how to transcend their own internal whirlpool, and to heal imbalances by developing an influence over the energetic body, as well as a way of discovering a deeper meaning and purpose to life by connecting to the wise old sage within that lives beyond all of that clutter and noise and congestion in life. And another big shift that New York City brought me was exposure to diversity. Because growing up in rural Indiana, New York was the first place that I ever really got the opportunity to connect with people from different cultures and different countries. And that cracked me wide open. And for the first time in my life, I started wondering and fantasizing about what was beyond the borders of where I was from. And so after spending some time saving money, I left on my first adventure outside of the US, which was a solo backpacking trip through the UK and Europe. And that was meant to last for 3 months, and it turned into a year and a half of living in hostels, working in pubs, that sort of lifestyle. And that experience changed everything. I didn't want that exploration to end. And so then over the following 15 years or so, I pretty much wanderlusted my way around the globe, studying and teaching yoga, exploring the healing arts, working in different industries, especially in the hospitality and tourism industries. Among other things, I lived in a van in Australia. I taught English to monks in the Himalayas. I swam with elephants on remote islands. And I also became a scuba diving instructor. I learned from some really wise teachers over the years, went through a lot of personal and spiritual growth along the way. And so this wasn't a mainstream vacation experience. This was a soul journey that inspired me to challenge the boundaries of my comfort and to immerse myself in the unfamiliar, to seek new perspectives, and ultimately to grow into somebody that I wouldn't have been able to had I stayed in my comfort zone and conformed to the life that was expected of me. So I really had this realization that travel has this incredible ability to interrupt our patterns, whatever they might be, and to wake us up and to reconnect us with who we really are. And so then, after many years of living this way, I felt drawn to stay in the tropics. I decided I really like being warm, but I also wanted to be closer to my family in the States. And so I found balance by accepting a scuba diving job in the Caribbean on the island of St. Kitts. And prior to that, I had never been to the Caribbean. I had never heard of the country, St. Kitts and Nevis, before. I put it into Google Maps that first time, and it did that kind of like, all the way to this little tiny dot in the middle of the ocean. And as soon as I saw that, I said, okay, that looks like my type of place. And so while I was working in St. Kitts, I met a Kittian Islander who's now my husband, Derek. And after about a year and a half in St. Kitts, we both found our way to Nevis, which is the smaller, quieter sister island of St. Kitts. And we decided that we really liked it in Nevis better. St. Kitts is a really nice island too, but it's bigger, it's more populated, it's more developed, it's more commercialized. And we were really attracted to the slower pace and the natural vibes in Nevis. And so here I am 12 years later. So looking back now, I can see that all of these experiences were quietly preparing me for what I do now, which is facilitating other people's soul journeys and helping them to slow down and heal and reconnect through a combination of conscious travel and inner exploration. And so that is the heart of what I do, to serve people who are kind of like me, who want depth and clarity and something more meaningful than the mainstream vacation. And also perhaps people who have had some of the same struggles as me, like anxiety and depression, attention issues, psychosomatic illnesses, and things like that. So just to be clear, on my retreat, you get to do all of the normal vacation stuff. You get to relax, you eat good food, you explore, you have fun. But it also offers something deeper and more lasting. So on the Back to Your Roots retreat, you get an opportunity to step off the beaten path and experience a new place and a new culture under the wings of trusted local hosts, rather than having that sheltered cookie cutter tourist experience. You also get space to gently address physical and energetic imbalances that might be affecting the way that you feel and the way that you move through your life. We spend time exploring practices that are designed to help you release tension, reset the nervous system, and to calm that internal whirlpool and to feel more at ease in your body. We also spend a lot of intentional time in nature, not just as like a superficial experience layered with noise and social chatter, but something deeply grounding and restorative, a real like soulful connection with the natural world. And through your days in Nevis, I am encouraging you to approach your experiences with mindfulness, which is simply the art of being present. And when we're fully present, we quiet that internal noise and time slows down. And everything that we do becomes more vivid, more meaningful, and more powerful. And when we're able to apply that same concentration of energy to the therapeutic practices that we do, then it triggers a powerful shift, not just in the way that you feel in the moment, but also in your understanding of how you can influence your continuing transformation that is occurring every moment of every day of your life. And when your vision becomes clear, you create the perfect conditions to reconnect with the vibrant, creative, wise old sage within, the part of you that knows what is needed for this next step in your journey. I like to call that your soul roots. So that is the heart of the Nevis Back to Your Roots retreat. So instead of escaping your life for a week and then returning home to the same patterns, the same pain, the same problems, you're actually shifting your condition and shifting your perspective. And you end up leaving not just feeling more relaxed, but with an elevated sense of awareness and purpose. And you return home as an enhanced version of yourself that's better prepared to respond to the challenges of life, with a clearer vision of what is needed in the next chapter of your journey. And that not only benefits you, but that benefits every person who comes in contact with you, honestly. So, of course, this kind of experience is powerful no matter where you are in the world. But the island of Nevis honestly has this special atmosphere that creates the perfect conditions for this kind of transformation. So I want to tell you a little bit about Nevis. So I'm going to just share my screen here so you can see some pictures as I'm talking, so you don't have to just watch me the whole time. Okay. Just give me a sec because my internet lags. It's always a little bit. Okay. So, Nevis. Martha says, I fell in love with Nevis. It's now my favorite Caribbean destination. I think. Okay, here we go. So you guys should see my screen soon. It's just, as I said, island vibes. We get the nice scenery, we get the nice weather, but our trade-off is some slower internet. And I'm willing to deal with that. So you guys can see now, Yaman, Teal. I love that. Okay, so you're seeing a little map here so you can kind of get an idea of where we're at on the map, because a lot of people, just like I had never heard of St. Kitts and Nevis before I came here, a lot of people have never heard of the place. And honestly, that's what makes it so awesome, is that it's not on everybody's radar. So you can kind of see my little blue dot up here showing you that's Florida. And then we have Puerto Rico here. And so we are approximately 220 miles southeast of Puerto Rico. So we are a small Caribbean island. We're part of the Federation and the independent country of St. Kitts and Nevis. Our island is about 36 square miles with approximately 13,000 people. And at the center of our island is a dormant volcano, which is surrounded by lush green rainforest and white and black sand beaches. And of course, this beautiful, delicious Caribbean water. So Nevis is known for its quiet, natural, authentic island atmosphere. We don't have any high rises or a cruise ship port. No fast food chains, no traffic lights, no shopping malls, no casinos. So if you're into that kind of vibe, this is not the place for you. And that makes it the perfect sort of idyllic Caribbean experience that most people sort of fantasize about, and also the perfect place to dedicate some time to mind and body wellness, because life moves slow in Nevis. And honestly, that slower rhythm is medicine in itself. So most people coming to Nevis have to first fly into St. Kitts and then take a short water taxi over to Nevis. So this is actually what the drive from the airport looks like. Okay, so you get to drive over these lush green rolling hills. You can see in the back, see where my blue dot is? And my internet's lagging a little bit now. You see it. That is Mount Nevis back there. So this is the island of Nevis back here in the distance. And so to get to Nevis, your driver takes you from the airport through these rolling green hills. You got the Atlantic Ocean on your left-hand side. You got the Caribbean Sea on your right-hand side. It's a beautiful scenic drive. And then after about 30 minutes drive from the airport, you arrive at Reggae Beach. And this is where you get your water taxi to Nevis, which only takes about 7 minutes to get across the channel to Nevis. And the boat takes you directly to your accommodation. And by the way, your transfers from the airport, all of the taxi and the water taxi and all of that is included in your package, and you're supported the entire way. So our retreat headquarters is at Awali Beach. This is a small family-owned, eco-friendly hotel located on a quiet swimming beach, which overlooks the scenic channel between St. Kitts and Nevis. So you can see in this picture from the other way, you can see St. Kitts off there in the distance, and you can see the nice beach there. And you can see how the rooms are spaciously scattered along the bay in these traditional style gingerbread cottages, which reflect the traditional architecture of the island of Nevis. So you don't have that fancy cookie cutter, high rise, modernized, sterilized resort atmosphere. And You are literally on the beach when you stay here. Like you walk out of your room. I'm actually in one of the rooms right now and I'm looking out the window and I can see the water. I'm looking at the view that you guys are seeing in this picture right now. And I just want to point out that Awali is not a flashy luxury resort, and that is intentional. I choose it because it perfectly captures the idyllic tranquility and simplicity of Caribbean beach life. And I have noticed that modern, polished, high rise architecture that feel really disconnected from the traditional culture of the island. And I don't know about you, but I'm not really attracted or impressed by places like that. When I travel, I want to commune with the soul of the place that I'm visiting, and I want to support families rather than corporations and wealthy foreign investors. And I want to be able to sit and have a genuine conversation with the locals while enjoying the actual natural environment of the place that I'm visiting. And so that's exactly what you're getting with Awali Beach Resort, is that traditional, like authentic, old school island atmosphere. So this is what the inside of the rooms look like. They're complete with all of the comforts that you need and want. You have air conditioning, you have Wi-Fi, you have a little mini fridge, you have a coffee maker, you even have a small TV if you really want to watch TV while you're here. And I'm actually in one of the rooms now, so I don't want to fuss too much by moving my technology since it's so fussy and sensitive. But you can see behind me, I'm in one of the rooms. So you can see the bed behind me. It's actually, there's nothing fancy about it, but it's cozy. And it's, like I said, I'm looking outside and I'm watching the sunset on the beach right now. So that's special. One of the best parts of these rooms is the screened in porch. So all of the rooms have this little screened in patio where you are literally like at the beach, but you're all also in your private accommodations. And you can, like I said, literally just step outside your room and you're already at the beach. So if you're an ocean lover like me, that's perfect. You just walk out and you're already there. You get to fall asleep to the sounds of the ocean, the sound of singing tree frogs. Here in a while, it's starting to get dark. You might start to hear the frogs singing. In the mornings, you wake up to quiet scenes of fishermen preparing their boats for the day, monkeys playing in the coconut trees, maybe some sheep passing through for a morning graze. And oh yeah, Maggie says not too many bugs, and that's true. You'd be surprised. And this is actually one of my favorite things about Awali is that, because we're out in, the countryside. And so we're not close to like city and stuff like that. So we get donkeys and monkeys and cows and sheep and goats that occasionally stroll through the property. And in my opinion, that gives it a really unique atmosphere. And that is actually one of it quickly becomes one of the favorite things that a lot of people like about the atmosphere as well. There's also an open air restaurant and beach bar on site that serves Caribbean and international dishes. They serve local craft beer from Nevis, and they also host some pretty nice live music sessions a couple times a week. And one of the things that makes this place so special is there's always like this down to earth mixture of visitors and locals. Sometimes when you're a tourist and you go places and it's like you feel like you're just around other tourists, but when you're at Awali, this place like attracts visitors and locals alike. So this is a place where you can really hang out and get to know the locals. And you will quickly become on a first name basis with the staff here as well. So this is your view from your breakfast every morning. Your breakfast is included in your retreat package. You can also have lunch and dinner here, or you can choose to dine at one of the many other options on the island, some of them within walking distance. In addition to unique Caribbean style cuisine, you're going to be able to find about just any other kind of food that you like here in Nevis. One of the most popular experiences on the retreat is the Rastafarian Vitality Experience, which provides an intimate glimpse into Rasta culture, which is a lifestyle of simplicity and harmony with nature that was born here in the Caribbean islands. Think Bob Marley. Okay, Bob Marley is the most famous Rastafarian. So during this experience, my husband Derek, this is Derek, by the way. Hey, Derek. He cooks ital, which is traditional Rastafarian food, while we chill on the beach listening to roots reggae music. So the word ital comes from the word vital, which stems from the Rasta belief that food is medicine. So ital food is organic, it's plant-based, gluten-free most of the time, made with only the freshest ingredients that come directly from the earth. And it's cooked in a clay yaba pot over a fire. It's served in a tropical gourd bowl with a coconut spoon. So you get to really experience the traditional style. And you also get to sample some different botanical juices from the island. Every day, you can opt to join a therapeutic yoga and meditation session in our indoor beachfront yoga room, which is just steps away from your guest room at Awali Beach. So that's our yoga room there. And then on some days, you're invited to a special session off property, such as sunrise yoga on secluded Lovers Beach. On another day, we do a mindfulness hike in the rainforest. So I guide all of these sessions with a foundation of mindfulness and conscious breath work with an emphasis on yin yoga. So in case you're not familiar, yin yoga provides a profound restoration to the body tissues. It clears congestion in the energetic channels, carries you into the deeper realms of who you are. It's a very accessible practice to most people. We also explore some slow, mindful somatic movement. We do some practices that incorporate myofascial release and acupressure, as well as some specialty meditations like Yoga Nidra, which is deep relaxation, Metta Bhavana, which is the cultivation of loving kindness, and laughter meditation. And as I said, all of these offerings are accessible to practitioners of different levels of experience and mobility. So whether you're an experienced yogi or whether you are completely new to this sort of thing, you can rest assured that you are in the right place. These practices are not about performance or fashionable fitness, but about connecting with the world within. And you'll also have the opportunity to book some private sessions with me on our free days. Most people end up opting into trying the Thai yoga massage and don't regret it. If you've never tried Thai yoga massage, you simply have to try it. And then we also take these practices and techniques out into the world and apply them to some conscious adventures. We do some forest bathing and a mindfulness rainforest hike. We go to some volcanic hot springs. We do an island road trip. You get to go all the way around the island, see what it looks like, get the vibe. We do a cruise over to St. Kitts, where you can do some snorkeling or even some scuba diving if you're into scuba diving. And speaking of, I just want to give you a quick glimpse of what our itinerary looks like. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm going to put the link in the chat actually to my retreat page. And that way, if you want to, the itinerary is on there. So if you want to get a detailed idea of what our itinerary looks like, then you can go there and see it. So obviously, everything is planned and curated for you, but there's also a lot of spaciousness. This isn't one of those retreats where every second is scheduled with something. I try to balance it with, plenty of, you know, interesting and fun and relaxing activities, but also plenty of space to do your own thing and to have solitude when you need it. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through here. Our morning yoga practices start at 7:30 in the morning. And some people are like, oh my God, 7:30, that's so early. But I just want to point out that when you are in a place like this, when you come to the tropics, even if you normally are a late sleeper at home, you are going to naturally find that you sort of get into the rhythm of nature here. And in the tropics, by 8 o'clock in the morning, it's hot, the sun is blaring, and so you're really going to savor those mornings in Nevis. And it also just gives us time to be slow and intentional throughout our day. So you can see, like, most days we have morning yoga, and most days we have like a little experience that you can do after breakfast. On the Monday, we do our island road trip. You do an entire loop around the island. You get to stop in some cool spots to just get a feel for what the island is. We do a sunrise yoga at Lovers Beach, which is a secluded beach, about 10-minute walk from Awali on the Tuesday. Tuesday nights, they have live music at Awali, which is a lot of fun. On the Wednesday, we do that scenic cruise across the channel over to the leeward side of St. Kitts, where the water is really calm and really clear. And we spend a few hours there just chilling out. And you can opt to go snorkeling if you want to, or you can do a scuba dive if you're a scuba diver. We also have some opportunities to eat out as a group. So there's a couple nights a week that if you want to come out as a group and eat, then I take you to some nice places for food and drinks. And then Thursday is the only day that we don't have yoga in the morning, because we get an earlier start for our mindfulness rainforest hike, inspired by the words of the revered Zen Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh. We approach the scenic hike as a mindfulness meditation, and we practice forest bathing surrounded by the tranquil sounds of a small waterfall. You can wear your swimsuit under your clothes if you want to plunge into its refreshing pool. And then later on our way home, we stop at the volcanic hot springs. And then we have a special therapeutic session in the afternoon, yin yoga and myofascial release. Most people get an early night that night because it's such a therapeutic day. And then Friday is another free day. And so after our yoga and breakfast, then you can choose to go on an adventure on the island. I give you a list of all of the fun stuff there is to do on Nevis. Like you can go over to St. Kitts and do a tour there. You can climb to the top of the volcano. You can do horseback riding on the beach. And then, of course, on these free days, I'm also offering the Thai yoga massage and private sessions as well. And then on Saturday, on your last day, we have a final session together, which is specially curated to help you to assimilate and integrate this very transformative and therapeutic week, and to prepare you for the journey ahead. Of course, if you don't want to leave, you can always extend your stay. So quite a few participants opt to arrive a few days early or stay a couple days late, just for a little bit of extra time to integrate and to relax and to get some time to themselves. And if you do decide to extend your stay, I have some special rates that I can extend to you for that. So now, instead of continuing to just hear from me, go on and on and on, I want to turn the screen over to some of the people that I have here tonight who've actually experienced this for themselves. So Let's see. Teal, I'm looking at your face right now. So if you want to start, you can start. You can unmute. And why don't you just tell me about, because I had never met Teal before she came here. I just tell everybody how you ended up coming to Nevis and what your experience was like here.
Um, I want to go back so bad now listening to all this, but I just posted on one of the retreat pages on Facebook of like kind of what I wanted, and Amanda was one of like, I don't know, there was like 30 women who all did things, but I just read hers and it resonated with me. I really love the Rasta culture, so there's that, and then the beach, and she does the chill yoga, so I like that. So I messaged her and I went and I loved it so much. I can't even explain it. I still feel like I have the energy flowing through me. And when is it? Last October, so like 6 months. I don't know time right now, but she just makes it so good, calm, no pressure, chill, have fun. It's a good time. And let's see, what my favorite part was probably the day around the island, that, and then also the rainforest hike day. I got to take my shoes off and go be wild in the jungle and climb up the mountain with Derek. And then we went to the hot springs, and it was just so grounding and so lovely. And yeah, I don't know. Do you have any questions for me?
Well,
Man.
I just want to point out, by the way, that after leaving this experience, Teal went home and did her yoga teacher
Oh,
training
yeah. I did.
because yeah,
I
she's
was
a
just
she's a
so,
yoga teacher now.
yeah, I graduated on Saturday. So was you. I was just so inspired
Congratulations.
by Amanda, and she just has a way of like teaching and educating and telling the theory of everything about we were doing. And I was like, oh, yin yoga just like was amazing. And then taking some restorative classes, and yeah, I don't know. I was like thinking of things in my life. And then after the retreat, I was like, yep, and I did it, and yeah. And I'm wearing some of your beach bling. I don't know if you can see, it's so hard, but I put it on for today.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yay.
just hard. I'm like, I can't tell the thing, but I don't know. I just, Amanda feels like a sister. She says I found her through the ether, so I did.
I believe that.
And she's a good
I
mentor. And
believe.
yeah, and I like can't wait to see you again one day. I know it'll work out eventually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Teal. Thanks for being here and thanks for sharing your experience.
Yeah, of course.
So,
I'm on my cell phone because I don't have a computer and my like battery's just draining because it's old. So if I cut out, I love you and that's why.
aw, okay.
But I'm
Thanks for
gonna
letting
try
me
to
know.
stay.
I love you too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay on here, but I just want to let you know that.
Okay. All right. Well, great seeing your face.
You too. And I
All
hope everyone goes
right.
on the retreat because it's worth it.
Thanks, Teal. All
I
right. Okay, so let me speak to somebody else. Teal, you can mute your mic. And then what about Martha? Is Martha still around?
Yes, I am here.
Hey, Martha.
Hello, hello. I had never been on a retreat before, and now I'm spoiled for any other retreat. I can't imagine one that could be that good, really. Um, I am very particular about my yoga classes, the instructors, and Amanda is par excellence. I mean, she knows her stuff and just provided a wonderful experience every single day. And she hasn't told you, not only do we have yoga every morning, but she brought I'm not don't want to give away the secrets, but she brewed a bush tea. And if you don't know what bush tea is, you can find that out. Every day, a different type to serve to us while we were doing, before and after our yoga. But it's just the whole experience was so peaceful, grounding. I was just coming off of having had a very bad case of COVID. And so I was not physically my quite vital self, and still certainly had no difficulty participating in everything. I opted out of some of the more highly physical things, but for me too, local culture is huge for me when I visit a place. And Amanda took us to all these wonderful spots where we got to interact with the local people. We went to a pottery that's been in Newcastle. It's been in business for generations, and we got to talk with the ladies that created that pottery. Derek providing the Rasta food, and oh, I don't want to give away all of the surprises, but there were just, it was wonderful. Um, I felt like I could do anything I wanted to do if I needed to do something different, but certainly the experiences were pretty much not to be missed. And I felt bonded with the other ladies. I came away with special friends. So, but and any questions of me about my experience?
Does anybody have any questions for Martha? Of course, Martha is going to be in the chat too. So if anybody has any questions, you can always type it into the chat. And then Martha will, be prepared to answer your questions there, as well as Teal and everybody else. If you have any questions for any of these past participants and you want to get their candid, answers, then please feel free to ask them questions in the chat. So thank you, Martha, for sharing that. I'm really grateful and so nice to see your face. And I know you're coming back to Nevis soon, so I'll see you pretty soon. Yeah, looking forward to it. Okay, so who's next? I think I have Joni. Is Joni around?
Okay, can you hear me?
Hey, Joni.
Hey, um, it's been about a year since I was there and seeing those pictures. Oh my God, I want to go back. It was the most, so here's a recommendation. I put my phone in the safe. So like unplug and just like feel what it feels like to slow down and not have your mind spinning and, worried about stuff. There's hammocks, there's palm trees, there's the beach. When you have some free time, I think on the Friday, my sister and I just hung out in hammocks and really chilled on our last day. The accommodations are awesome. We never used the air conditioner. We left the windows open. You could hear the waves, you could feel the breeze. You can hear the birds and the insects and frogs. I have no complaints at all. Oh, and I'm wearing beach bling too. That's right. The food that Derek made for me was the best food that I had. I wish we could have eaten it every day. Juices, awesome. And I'm a yoga instructor and I teach a vinyasa, and I wasn't really like the slower yin yoga person, but Amanda converted me and I really enjoyed it, and it got me to slow down in my practice as well. So I highly recommend it. It's I would say the best. I've been on many yoga retreats and it's the best one I ever went on. So it's a good one. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, that's a good review. Thank you so much. Nice to see your face.
Yeah,
And
you
Joni
too.
is from Indiana, which is the same place I'm from. And so I usually go home to Indiana in the summertime. So I'll probably see you in a couple of months too.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I'm looking
hope that
forward
you
to
can
it.
come back to Nevis and visit.
I know. Boy, those
Yeah.
pictures. I mean, it brought everything back, the feelings and I mean, my sister and I, we loved it. It was just like the rainforest, favorite part, the waterfall of, the outings that we did. So incredibly beautiful. It was fun. Met a lot of nice people on the retreat. It was good. All right,
Awesome.
I'm done.
Okay. Thank you, Joni. Thank you
Yes.
so much for that. I appreciate you sharing. Okay, so Yvette, if Yvette is here, could
Yeah,
I
I'm here.
hear, hey, Yvette.
Hey, hi everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went well, actually I first visited Nevis last year in April, because Amanda and I actually have a mutual friend who had some connections to Nevis and through his parents who would go down there every winter and winter there. So I had heard about it, and then I finally had the opportunity to go for my spring break. And that was with my friend, but like I said, we're mutual friends, so we met Amanda and Derek and had a great time. And it was kind of spring break mode, so I was kind of in that kind of space, I suppose, or uh with my friend more than anything. So after meeting Amanda, I knew I had wanted to meet her because of the David Letterman connection, even though I'm connected with yoga and all the other kind of things. But Dave was one of my heroes. So I just like had to meet Amanda. And of course, that was great. And so once I had been there in the spring, I knew right away that I wanted to try to go back for the retreat and have a different kind of experience with focus on health and wellness and that kind of thing. So I made it back down in October, and I'd agree with what everyone has described about everything, and just to bring you in a little kind of different facet of the whole thing for me, and maybe for you, if you're, in a space where you need to just kind of really extract yourself from your life. And if you, like me, were, I just needed to give thought to my next, kind of my next adventure or chapter, I guess, in my world after being a teacher for 30 years with teenagers. And a thing, I've loved that, but I knew that I wanted to, to shift my focus, and I didn't know exactly what, or um, have much of the, I don't know, courage, I guess, yet to make some decisions. And so going down to Nevis, which, as you've heard, is beautiful and amazing and a different kind of space than maybe a lot of the islands and, resorts and kind of that kind of vibe. Um, it just really helped me with that through all of the activities, through the yoga and through the other participants. And we just happened to have all women participants, which for me was really valuable, to feel that kind of sense of kind of female vibe of the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, I hope to make my way back there in October is my let's see what happens. But yeah, I just, all of it was really valuable, and experiencing new things like horseback riding. So thanks, Teal, for convincing me to do that, get going on the horseback ride on the beach, and first time ever snorkeling. And just first time ever going very far away from New Mexico, where I'm landlocked. And just finding the ocean just so comforting. And like when I first sat in that warm water in Owali Beach, you just feel like, I was like, it's like Mother Earth just giving you a big hug. That's really literally what it felt like to me, just in mama's arms there. So yeah, it was amazing. And it was, the back to your roots part is the part that really helped me the most, like to really just go deep, and through the yoga, through the meditation, through the mindfulness, through the good food, and nature. It just all helped bring a lot together. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I hope to be back there. I'm kind of jealous. Sounds like Martha's going to get there before me. So, but hopefully
Well,
October, we'll see.
yeah, I am confident that I'm going to see you again soon, and
Yes.
I think it's going to be in October at this next retreat. So,
Yeah.
looking forward to it. Thank you so much,
Yeah, so do
Yvette.
it. If
And
you're not sure, just do it.
if you're on the fence, just do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Yvette. I just want to hear from one more person. I know we're running maybe a little bit late, so hopefully, if you have anywhere to be, you can hang on just a little while longer so I can get to, some of the important, logistics and stuff. But I just want to hear from one more person. I got to hear from Maggie Mo. Maggie, are you still here?
I'm here. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Maggie.
Hey. Oh, man, I'm so glad you get to hear all this wonderful feedback. It's real. I will be quick with my comments. I want to echo everyone else's favorable experience, but I also want to add that it was a really economically valuable time. Like I felt like I got bang for my buck, right? Like the money I spent, I think I probably got more out of the retreat than what I paid for. And so if it's like, gosh, I don't know if I have the money to spend on this, I don't know if I want to drop this much money, it is very well worth it. Not just for like all of the beautiful experiences, but it's a good value. And so I just wanted to add that element to all of the other kind of emotional parts of it that are also good. And I also want to come back and see you.
Yeah, I want to see you too. Okay. Thank you so much, Maggie Mo, for being here and giving that feedback. Yeah, thanks to all of you. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen once again because now we're going to get into some logistics here. Okay, usually takes a few moments to switch over. Okay. I'm just waiting for it to change to the next slide, and I just got a little message that my internet is running slow, and it's asking me if I want to wait. So as I'm waiting for that to pop up, I'm just going to start to, yeah, the internet's starting to act up here a little bit. So next, really what I was getting into is the pricing. And of course, I have a little slide here that I want you to be able to see a visual of what I'm saying. But I'm going to go ahead and just start since my internet's being fussy with that. So if you should decide that this is for you, I'm just going to take the share screen off because it doesn't make sense if it's not popping up. So if you should decide that this is something that you want to do, here's the investment. Okay, so if you come on your own and you stay in your own private room, then you get a deluxe room with a queen bed, and it's $2,995. Let me see if I can bring this up again. Just try one more time. If you come down here with a friend and you share a room, then, sorry, technology. Okay, it's still not wanting to go. Okay, so single occupancy, $2,995. If you come with a friend and you share a room, you get a deluxe room with 2 double beds, and that is $2,195 per person. Man, at the most important time, of course, it's going to stop on me. Okay. Hopefully you guys can still see me and hear me. Hopefully I have enough internet that you guys can still see me and hear me. Send me a little message if you can. Okay, and also there's a 10% early bird special if you put down your deposit, which is $500. At least 90 days in advance. Okay, good, Martha. Thanks for giving me that feedback. So it's just my my screen share and my slides that are being a bit slow. So if you pay $500 deposit by July 26th, then you get a 10% early bird discount, which makes it $2,695 for a single occupancy and $1,975 per person for a double occupancy. Our booking conditions, there's as I mentioned, a $500 deposit to hold your space. The balance is due 45 days prior to arrival. And there are payment plans available if you want it. And I also mentioned that there was a special bonus offer for you guys. Let me see. Let me try one more time with my. I don't think it's going to work. Sorry, guys. Actually, let me try to reopen it. No. Okay. So what I'm hold on here. Okay. Okay. Never mind with the technology. So I told you that there was a special bonus offer. So if you sign up in the next 7 days, so no later than Wednesday next week by midnight, then you can get a complimentary holistic coaching upgrade. So what that consists of is 3 private one-on-one sessions with me, 3 60-minute one-on-one sessions with me. And one of them is before the retreat. So this gives you an opportunity to kind of like explore your intentions and your goals and, what your obstacles might be, and to just kind of get a head start on this therapeutic and transformative experience with a private session with me. And then we do another private session during the retreat. So usually that's on our first free day on the Tuesday. And this is a really great opportunity to, to have a personal check-in with somebody to talk through this this experience that you're going through internally, and maybe to get some personalized attention and some personalized adaptations to the practices that we're doing. And then there's another one-on-one session that we do after the retreat. And obviously the ones before and after the retreat are virtual. But this is, an opportunity for you to sort of like prepare and integrate the valuable benefits of the retreat with me. So normally this package is $285 for these 3 personal one-on-one sessions, but that's complimentary if you sign up in the next 7 days. Okay. So if you feel like this is aligned for you and you're already thinking like, yes, I definitely want to do this, then it's definitely worth getting that $500 deposit in before next Wednesday, so that you can get that special offer. Just before we end here, I just wanted to open up for any questions that anybody might have. So if you have a question for me, you can, and I'm also, by the way, going to be giving you all of the links and everything like that to book in the chat here. But if anybody has any questions, you can do like the raise hand feature, you can unmute, you can ask me a question, or if you prefer, you you can type a question in the chat. And if you've already typed a question in the chat and I've missed it, maybe just retype it because there's quite a few comments here in the chat.
Thanks, Amanda. I have a quick question, or could you just repeat the totals for single and double accommodations again?
Yeah, so for single occupancy, it's $2,995. If you do the 10% early bird discount, so if you book no later than July 26th, then it's $2,695. Okay, if you are sharing a room with a friend, it's $2,195 per person. If you get the early bird discount, then it's $1,975 per person. I just want to mention that these prices are budget travel destination. I'm also just a little disclaimer here that next year they're going to go up a little bit. So take advantage of that while you can. Okay, so
There's something else.
just go for it.
Is there, if we bring someone with, do you have like a standard way you might take that into consideration if we bring another participant?
As in, like, I'm not sure what you mean. So,
I guess I thought there was some kind of, something's discount or whatever, if we bring someone to participate.
So you might be thinking of, I have a special offer for my repeat participants. And so that's something, if you want to message me later, then I can get you up to speed on that. But yeah, it sounds like you're referring to a special offer that I give to my people who are coming more than once. So we can chat about that later if you want.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions for me? I just want to put my links in here. So since I'm not able to get onto, my slides are freezing up, I'm going to put the link to my to the retreat page, which has all of the information that you need. It has the itinerary, it has the prices, it has all of the details of the retreat. It has my contact info. So you see there in the chat, I just put that link on there. Also, if you have more questions and you need more clarity, at that retreat page, you can also book a discovery call or a clarity call with me. And so if you want some, just like a one-on-one call with me, then I'm happy to chat with you and answer all your questions. If you need some more time, just to talk it through, there's a link on that page where you can book a discovery call with me. I'm also just going to put my email in here so that everybody has it. Okay. You guys who already have been with me might have other email addresses, but this is my official one, amanda@amandaparryoga.com. So you can email me there. And if you want to book, I do have a direct booking link. Of course, you can always go to that main page that you see there, thesoulscuba.com/back-to-your-roots. But if you're already like, I'm in, I know I want to do this, I'm just going to put the direct booking link here. So that you can do that too, if you want. So let's see. I just want to make sure that I don't forget anything. I'm all off kilter now that but hey, my internet lasted pretty well until the end. So, I can't be vexed about that, as they would say here in the island. So thank you very much for showing up and having this connection with me. And I especially want to give thanks to my past participants who showed up and just gave your feedback. Maggie and Yvette and Joni and Martha and Teal, thank you so much for being here. I know that there's other things that you could be doing with your evening, so thanks for being a part of this. And for all of you, whether you join me in Nevis or not, I hope that this session, gave you something meaningful to reflect on about slowing down and reconnecting and giving yourself space to reset. And those of you who do feel called to join, then I hope to have a conversation with you really soon. The next retreat is October 24th through the 31st. There's a maximum of 10 spaces available for this retreat. And all it takes to save your spot is a $500 deposit. And get in before that early bird deadline on July 26th so that you can get 10% off. And if you are, if you're on board and you know that this is what you want to do, then it's worth signing up in the next week so that you can get that special offer for those private one-on-one sessions. Okay, so thanks, guys. If there's no more questions, I will be having a frequently asked question section on my website really soon. The website's getting an overhaul, so stay tuned on that. Until then, just email me or book one of those discovery calls and we can have a chat. So, all right, everybody have a good night. Thank you so much for being here. Peace.
Thanks, Amanda.
Namaste.
Peace out.
Love you guys. All right. Thanks.